Your Excellency, Madame la Secrétaire Générale, Honorable Chairman, wise members of the jury who will decide of tonight's happy ending, delightful timekeeper, I know, all good things eventually have come to an end. Commendable members of the opposition, well, I guess if there's no end except life, you all might if it doesn't end well for you tonight. Dear colleagues of the proposition, optimistic and all, ladies and gentlemen, I believe the government has already done a marvelous job explaining the motion to you, but let me bring the final proof, the final argument. John has beautifully explained how this phenomenon works at an individual level. Then Paul tackled the social level, what it means for the society, how it pushes the community to adopt this mechanism, all is well that ends well, for greater social cohesion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to broaden your thinking. I'd like you to step up a level and ask yourselves, why? It's very important. It is actually quite capital. Believing all is well that ends well is indeed capital. It offers better chances of survival and progress through a hopeful and positive outlook on life. But before that, because I have to go back to something that was not quite as positive, and by that I mean the opposition's case tonight. I'll start with, you say an ending cannot be well for anyone. It's fine, but it does end well for some people. These are the ones we're talking about. When it's well, nobody ends badly, and we recognize that. And we're not talking about them. Maybe one day it will end well for them too as well, if you are as optimistic as us, and maybe it will end well for you as well, one day. I have another point. You accuse us of being naive. Well, that's not true. We recognize that there is poor, brutish, nasty, horrible aspects in life. But we do not forget them, as Mohammed, you say, like, seriously, if you don't listen to the debate, it's not going to work, Mohammed. We did not say that we need to forget. We did not say that we need to forget, but to accept them, as hard as it may be. On the other hand, your case is basically falling apart. You managed to be both naive and pessimistic at the same time, and I didn't know that was possible. You were naive because you say to us, it's carpe diem, live in the present, there's no end but life. I mean, for an anti-utopist, that does seem quite an utopy. Seriously, a man without past nor future is like a tree without roots nor buds, and it's absolutely capital. We talk about the past and the future, and that's what I'm going to do. Jean-Baptiste.
Point of information?
No, thank you. Jean-Baptiste, you're accused of being politicians, Parisian politicians. You did sound like a pretty good populist yourself when you basically said that we were fooling the people. It's all rhetoric, people, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I understand why you go there. I mean, the results of the local elections yesterday might give you a clue that it's a good thing to do. It's not. It's all rhetoric. And I would like this debate to get back on the right track. I would like to get back to real arguments, and that's what I'm going to give you. Very gradual change over the years. Now, this is not a new version of François Hollande's campaign slogan, especially not after the local elections yesterday. Yes?
You just stated you didn't want to go into politics. Was that right?
No, that's not what I said. If you listen, that's not what I said. That's just not what I said. I said that you did pretty bad politics there. And believe me, I know what I'm talking about. But seriously, coming back to change, very gradual change over the years, that's the definition of evolution. That we live in a big, bad world out there. It's no fairy tale. A world of the most beautiful stories that Paul and John have told you can be intertwined with the most horrible of tragedies. In this big jungle out there, it's the survival of the fittest. It's a process of natural selection between species. Now, survival implies that we are in competition with other animals, so we need to see, to move, and to think better than they do in order to survive. Now, we have invented microscopes and telescopes, cars and boats, computers and telephones. These are all tools that allow us to see better, to move faster, and to think broader so we can rule supreme on this earth. Now, because we're scientists, let me put on the glasses of the anthropologist here and explain it to you through a very simple equation. Let's have S, okay, for seeing, M for moving, and then T for thinking. They all need to be completed by P squared. P squared is positive perception. Let me repeat this. S plus M plus T completed by P squared. Positive perception. Those who are able to use all the benefits of a happy ending are the ones who maximize this formula, which you don't. No, thank you. Positive perception, P squared, is what gives them the extra edge to survive, and that's resilience. Let me take one very simple example. When man discovered fire, millenniums ago. It wasn't easy. We didn't probably know what we were doing at the time, and it may very well have happened to us doing it on purpose, but we did it anyway, through that survival instinct, through resilience. Each time nowadays an experiment fails and you know about it, there's only one way to keep hoping one day it will work for good, and that's hope, found through resilience. It's essential. It's what allows you to sing, "I will survive" with Gloria Gaynor, instead of basically doing the Jim Morrison band, The Doors, and actually singing, "This is the end." No. Hope, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Point of information.
No, thank you. Hope that came from that positive perception I just talked about all comes from believing. And that leads me to my final argument. That little touch of magic we've been talking about all evening, right there, changes everything. It undermines all the opposition's arguments. Believing that all is well that ends well not only allows us to survive, it's at the core of progress. I have one last piece of evidence that the opposition might be familiar with, the conquest of space. From the end of the 19th century, we looked towards the sky and sought to conquer the clouds. We built airplanes. We accomplished the long-lost dream of man. We learned how to fly. But then we decided it wasn't enough. We decided to look to the heavens and aspired to conquer space. We sent a man on the moon. We built a space shuttle. Now, yes, a few of them were destroyed. Yes, we lost Challenger. Yes, we lost Columbia. But did we stop building them? No. We built Discovery, and we built Atlantis, and we built Endeavour, and we achieved the International Space Station. That's how we do it. Progress can only be achieved by making mistakes. That's right. By taking risks. That's right. But ladies and gentlemen, if you go back to the little formula design, that's how we do it. Tonight you have a very simple choice. Believe the opposition's rhetorics. Go with us. Go for sky. Go for the moon. Go for space. Why? Because it's next. Because we came out of the cave and we looked over the hill and we saw fire. And we crossed the ocean and we conquered continents and we took it to the sky. We looked toward the heavens. And with outstretched fingers, we touched the face of God Himself. For all these reasons, for progress, for individuals, for society. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge you, propose the motion tonight. Thank you.